All right, we are going to learn about how to do a website analysis or a source analysis using what IB says is origin, purpose, value, and limitations. We're only going to talk about origin, purpose really first, but this is going to be a quicker video. I'm going to try to condense all the information into a video, so feel free to pause, stop, take a break, or review. Don't let this be too much. I do go a little fast on this video, and I do apologize, but let's get into it. So, when we look at origins, we got to look at what kind of source we're doing. Is this source going to be credible? And one way of doing that is looking at who made it. And so, if someone who experienced an event is the primary source, then going back to Among Us, if red saw white take out yellow, red's a primary source. Now, if somebody told me that red saw white, that's a secondary source. Primary sources are people that were there, experienced the event, and those are often great because you do get an account. A lot of times they're letters, journals, interviews, speeches, photos, paintings. They're like the original source documents. This is where we get all of our information. Historians put this all together so that they can make sense of the past, or people make sense of the current situation. This is what your history textbooks are. They're like billions of primary sources all packed into something. I hate textbooks, but we live, we learn. So a primary source, again, is something that I experienced or was there, and there's some value and some limitations there. So, dead body reported. I was told by blue that white killed yellow. This is a secondary source. Somebody is getting it from another source. So they're taking a primary source, analyzing it, and then telling it to you. There's some benefits to this as well. Sometimes the primary sources, people are very in the moment. It's so emotional filled. They don't have the full picture. So they tell their truth, but it might not fully fit the whole truth. And truth is tough to say anyway, but secondary sources sometimes will take other primary sources and put them together. Sometimes we call them tertiary sources when they take like lots of primary sources and put them together, but secondary source is somebody that wasn't actually there or experienced it. They might have a better understanding because they took all these different views, but they are useful at times. Now, origins. If you saw blue vent, you are a primary source. If orange told you that they think it's pink, that's secondary. They're telling you. So you got to try to find and ensure that your origin is good. You use your origin to determine where's it coming from. Is the person trustworthy? Should I even be using this document? That's critical. Don't be caught in some weird website that was made by a 12-year-old to spew hate. Don't do that. Next, we got to jump into the purpose. Why did they make this? That's, I think, almost as important as the origin. So, why would you report a dead body? What's the purpose? Your purpose is to hopefully figure out who is the killer. Or, if you're the killer, your purpose might be to throw somebody off their tracks. Another purpose. Why would you do empty garage? Well, empty garage, somebody's got to watch you. So the purpose there is to show everyone that you are not the killer. So you got to look at the purpose of why somebody's doing something, why they're publishing it, why are they creating it. So Britannica, they're trying to educate, even though sometimes their websites aren't always the greatest. But you could look at other news art websites that could be just trying to gain money, or could be trying to play to their base, tell people what they want to hear so they keep coming back. If I tell you what you don't want to hear, I doubt you're going to keep watching my show. So purpose and origin kind of come together. And so based on who they are, that helps us know why they did that. Is this person a crummy person? That might influence their purpose. Does this person hate that group? Well, that might influence their purpose. So purpose, why does this document exist, or why did they create this in particular? So like my purpose in a speech in public might be a lot different than the purpose of me writing my diary. Dear diary, I had a rough day. I love my cats. I might be more honest in my diary, and that'll help my purpose. Who is the intended audience? That kind of goes back to my journal entry. Like if I'm writing myself, you would hope I'm not lying to myself. I could be, but that's why journals are usually so beneficial in history. Is like you get to hear or understand what the person was actually feeling. But sometimes journals we inflate and like tell tall stories to pat ourselves on the back. So all documents have little ups and downs. What can you tell that's more than just on the surface? So like you start reading it and you're like, ooh, maybe I can't do that, or oh, they are saying what? So you want to figure out the purpose. So if you want to do a little quick practice, what might be the purpose? I made this like 2 years ago, so I'm sorry. So the United States president at the time, Donald Trump, said I'll be leaving the great Walter Reed Medical Center today at 6:30. This is when he had COVID. He said, feeling good, don't be afraid of COVID, don't let it dominate your life. We have developed under the Trump administration some really great drugs and knowledge. I feel better than I did 20 years ago. I wish I felt better than I did 20 years ago. But it's a tweet. So our origin is was the current president of the United States. Purpose, we got to figure out like why is he tweeting this? Is he just telling everybody he's good? Is he trying to promote what his administration's doing? Is he trying to dispel rumors? Is he what is he doing? So you have to look at the sus and the crew, the positive and negatives of what a document is saying. So maybe crew, he's trying to dispel rumors, or he's trying to tell people like, hey, we've got stuff that works. Or it's sus, maybe he's trying to downplay COVID and just be like, I'm good. Maybe he's not actually good. That is one of them. Jump into a CDC, looking at what they have and their information. So looking at the CDC, we got to look at our origins. They're a government organization. They get funded by or because of disease. And also, they're pretty credible, you'd think. So when we look at crew and sus, we could say that they're crew because they're trying to save lives. It's their job. They're experts, lots of scientists, people with cool degrees. Sus, they need focus. That's what gets them funding, I guess. This is kind of like a weak sus, but that is a sus. So when you're looking at primary source, or when you're doing your research, I just want you to think about who made that article to make sure that it's credible, and then think about why are they making it so that you don't fall into any traps. This is pretty quick. I apologize, but short and sweet. You all take care. Goodbye.